Hello and welcome to this week's Wisdom on Wednesday message. And this time we're trying something new and chatting via video. So this week I wanted to talk about how we parent our kids well, how we use our relationship with them to get the behaviors that we really want to see. So I wanted to just drop into a little moment that I shared with my son this week, because it really reminded me of how much these relationships we have with our kids are two-way relationships, and when we come into real connection with them and see them as part of that relationship, there can be really beautiful outcomes. So what happened in this moment with my 12-year-old son was, it was one of those very typical moments, negotiating screen time. He'd had his hour of screen time. It was coming to the end of that hour, and I walked into his space and said, okay, it's time to finish up now. You've had your hour of screen time, just like the millions of parents across the world are also doing. And naturally he reacted and he said, I'm in the middle of something. It's not really fair. You haven't given me any notice. And instead of me kind of holding a position and saying, no, well, you've had your time and now it's time to finish up, which, on other days I might do. In this moment, I said to him, okay, let's work this out. Let's work out what would work for you. And he said, look, it's frustrating when you come in and you just kind of hijack me into telling me that it's time to finish up, because I'm often in the middle of something. I'm in the middle of watching an episode of something, or I'm in the middle of a round of a game or something. And so what would work for me is if you can give me some notice. And so I said, okay, look, yeah, let's finish up now, but next time we come into dealing with this screen time, I'll totally keep that in mind. So the next day or the next couple of days later, the same moment arose, and I came to him at 15 minutes before and I said, hi, this is just the warning that you asked me to give you. This is the 15-minute kind of flag for starting to finish up. And he said, okay, and he registered that, which is sometimes not always the case, but he registered that 15-minute warning was there. And then lo and behold, 15 minutes later, without me needing to prompt him, he happily got off his device, finished up with what he was doing, and life went on. And it really kind of illustrated to me that, when we are willing to show up and listen to what matters to our kids are more generous and flexible and are more willing to listen to what we've asked as well. So I think there's some message in that, some meaning in that sometimes I think we live very structured lives. We just tell our kids what needs to happen and they react. And sometimes I think just like us as adults, if another adult was to kind of come into our workspace and just demand that we drop what we're doing in that moment to do what they're needing us to do, there's going to be times where we will have a feeling about that and feel a bit incensed by that and want some notice or want them to wait. And so when these moments happen with our kids, I feel like there is real space for us to do the same with them, of seeing them also for what it is that they're needing, while also holding onto what it is that we're asking for. So just wanted to share that moment as one of those moments where we can do things a little bit differently and maybe have less friction and better outcomes. So that's my little message for this week. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep sending in your messages and keep sending in your questions. And let me know what you think of this style of sharing and connecting. Hope to speak to you soon.